Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now.
Here we go. keep hearing something in the wind. I keep coming back to you, my friend. Think I'm feeling something new again. Never going back, just take my hand. Something new again. Never going back, just take my hand. Keep coming back to you, my friend. Think I'm feeling something new again. Never going back, just take my hand. I keep hearing something in the wind. I keep hearing something. I keep hearing something. Think I'm feeling something new again.
Hey everybody, and welcome to yet another Work From Home AORUS TV. My name is James, and
I am Van. How's it going, guys?
hey, we have some pretty exciting stuff today. I actually am looking at the comments, and wow, guess how many viewers we have, Van? We have over 800 viewers.
Over 800? Dude,
800
what the
viewers.
heck?
This is pretty crazy. Shout
I
out,
think people
shout
are
out,
here for something, right?
shout out to the YouTube gang on YouTube, because there's over 600 of them. Dude, they're putting Twitch and Facebook to shame.
Oh, dang,
Jeez.
YouTube.
You guys are popping
Hey, what's up,
off.
guys?
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, it is a very special day for us because this is our first time going live after Nvidia's big announcement. And you guys may have seen, us release some photos online, and that's the main thing that we're going to talk to you guys about today. So, Van, any stuff you want to mention before we kind of get started?
I'm sure you guys have probably noticed our background lights on today's episode.
Had to match Nvidia.
Both of us, we got
The
green.
Nvidia theme. Look at that. See that? So, yeah, we have a lot of great stuff going on today. Before we just jump right into it, I do want to say that we do have a few giveaways going on. You can head over to the links down in the description down below to enter those giveaways, or you can go to us.aorus.com/AORUS Network to enter in some cool giveaways for free swag that we give out to you on a weekly basis. And yeah, so that being said, I mean, I don't know if it's okay with you, Van, but I want to show a product here that we've been waiting years for. All right. This is something that we're just going to go straight into it. Who's ready for
Are
it?
these what the viewers are for?
Maybe. We'll see.
All
right.
900 people watching right now? This is the
Yes.
moment they've been waiting
This
for,
is the
James.
moment they've been waiting for. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1. This is the brand new AORUS watch. Check this out. Got him.
Sorry to let you guys down like this.
Look at him in the comments.
Comments are so mad.
Gotcha, guys.
I think we might have a riot on our hands
we
here.
got you guys good. Look at that. Look at that. Got him. Hey, look at this cool
They
new
were-
AORUS watch, though.
The guys in the comments are so excited, dude.
Got him. RTX on, baby. Hey, but yeah, check out that giveaway if you want to win these limited edition AORUS watches. But I'll leave this right here as a reminder
James,
of.
How about let's show them what they actually
All right,
came,
let's show you guys
came
what
here
you
for.
actually came here for. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it.
Oh, actually, no. I see some comments. People are actually here for the watch.
Oh, people want the watch. Yeah, people. Can I get an F in chat? That was. Can I get an F in chat for all the people who actually thought we are gonna show that, show the RTX 30 series on stream today? Got him. But we are going to show it. So I don't want to tease you guys, but we are going to show it. But Van, do you want to kind of give a little disclaimer of what we're showing today? Because this is still relatively new, and we want to explain some things before we just hop right into it.
Yeah, so today, guys, we actually do want to give you guys a very first look at our AORUS RTX 30 series. We also even have some Gigabyte cards in here as well. This is the first time that we showcased it here on AORUS TV, so James and I would put together some pictures, we have some slides, some technical information to go over with you guys. So today's stream, it's going to be all about AORUS Gigabyte and Ampere graphics cards. So I know you guys have been waiting for a very long time for this new generation. I think it's been over 2 years since the last Nvidia GPU family came out, right?
2 years, 2018.
So this is very big news. This is very exciting news, and so we want to share with you guys some of the latest designs from Gigabyte and AORUS, and talk about what's new this generation.
Yeah. So with that being said, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. I'm going to go ahead and head over to, let's see, the new AORUS GPUs. So right here, this is just a first look of our brand new AORUS card designs. Now, we don't have any here physically because they're still in Taiwan in our HQ, but we are, working to get samples over as soon as possible so we can show you guys close-up shots in depth of the real product. But we do have very close-up images, high-res images of exactly what the card is going to look like. And what you guys are looking at right here is the brand new AORUS 3080. We're going to show off the 3090 in just a sec, but this is the 3080. And Van, I think maybe you might want to let them know what I think we're changing the models, right? I believe we're actually bringing over the model naming from our motherboards over to the graphic card. Can you kind of explain more on that?
Yeah. So, guys, if you're not familiar, AORUS is the high-end gaming brand from Gigabyte. So AORUS is the name for our flagship models. For this generation, for the RTX 3080, there's actually 2 different AORUS models. We have the AORUS RTX 3080 Master, and then we have the AORUS RTX 3080 Extreme.
Yes.
So the Extreme is the highest end model. Best overclock speeds, best performance, best benchmarking numbers.
And I think
underneath that...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Underneath that will be the Master. So Master and AORUS, they actually share very similar design, very similar coolers, very similar overall appearances. The only difference is going to be in terms of the clock speeds that you get out of the box. We actually haven't published our clock speed numbers just yet, but that should be coming very soon. So if you guys do want to follow us on social media, do follow our social platforms. As soon as we can publish that information, you guys definitely will be the first ones to know.
I do have a question here from, I don't know, the chat's going so fast, but I did see it. But will there be an AORUS 3070? Do we know that information yet?
That is something I actually do not know yet, but going based off of previous history, let's say the RTX 20 series, we did have an RTX 2070 under the AORUS lineup. So if we're going to continue that, we should expect to see an AORUS 3070 as well.
Cool. And I know you guys are saying or asking, where's the Eagle series, the Gigabyte? We're going to get to that. Don't worry. And we're going to go super in depth on those. But we just want to tease you guys a little bit with our flagship models, the AORUS. So I'm going to catch you guys with a couple of different angles here. So I'm going to get rid of these and bring up the backplate and kind of the view that most people will see, which is, I think, one of the best views. These are basically the 2 views that you're going to see when you install it in your case. When you stand up, you're going to see the back plate, and when you're sitting down, you're going to see the front, or I guess the side of it, which has, Van, what's new on here? I can tell that there's a very big difference compared from this generation to the last one.
So yeah, there's actually a ton of changes from these angles. So let's go through each angle. Let's start on the top picture, which is the back plate. You guys can see we've updated the design language of our graphics cards. So they actually very closely align with the latest design language of our motherboards. So if you guys have a AORUS X570, Z490, or B550 gaming motherboard, this design is going to be very familiar to you. But look on the back plate. In the middle section right there, you see that AORUS logo. That's actually an RGB illuminated section right there. So you get some nice bling, even if your card is face down on your case.
Nice.
And if you guys notice on the right-hand side, there's a little cutout for that backplate right there, right? That's actually another new thing that we've done for this generation as well. So that's supposed to be designed to allow for extra air to pass through, go through those heat sinks, and disperse out into your case. The thing about this new generation is that it's a much more powerful GPU. So you're going to need much better cooling, which is why we've basically overall increased cooling across the board.
I like this the right side too, because if you guys know anything about heat, or I guess temperatures, is that cold sinks and heat rises. So it's good that they put it on the back, because naturally the heat will rise and get basically exported out of this slot here. Again, the addition, I think the addition of the LCD screen is just amazing. More for me as kind of like an enthusiast when it comes to PC building, more information on my computer that I don't have to have pulled up on my screen is awesome. So for example, we offer the AIOs that give CPU temperature. Now this can give GPU temperature, and that's just two things that I have that I can just quickly look and say, hey, look, okay, cool, these are running cool, or hey, it's running a little bit warm. It's really cool to have that information on there and just kind of have it integrated into the AORUS ecosystem, you know.
Yeah, actually, that LCD display that you guys see right there, that's actually one of my favorite changes that we've done for this generation. And I think, from what I saw so far, we're actually one of the, I think we're one of the only vendors who have something like this. But on the bottom right-hand side, you guys can see, right now the picture says GPU temp, right? That's actually customizable. So you guys can configure that, because it's an LCD display, to showcase a couple different things. If you want to, I think it's not confirmed yet, but if you want to show things such as like your core clock speeds, you can show it on there. If you want to showcase like a cool little animation, you can also do that as well. Oh, something I actually do want to share with you guys is one of the modes that we're gonna have for the LCD display. It's gonna be like this little egg that shows up on the side of the screen, and basically the longer you play with your system, the longer you use your graphics card, that egg eventually will hatch, and you'll see like this AORUS Falcon come out of the egg.
Yeah,
it's
so
kind of like this little cool Easter egg type
if you
of thing.
guys ever played with like a Tamagotchi when you're younger, it's kind of like that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I think there's a lot of amazing, cool features that you can do with the LCD display. I have a couple of questions here from the chat. First off, will this come with some sort of GPU slot brace or GPU kind of brace holder? Because some people are concerned with GPU sag. Now, I know that on our motherboards, what's good about our motherboards is that we have reinforced PCIe slots. So that helps prevent already a considerable amount of GPU sag. But do you know if this card will ship with any sort of slot brace or anything like that, GPU support?
That's like actually a good question that I don't have an answer to right now. I actually haven't seen the retail packaging just yet, because all this information that you guys are seeing right now, this is like brand new information that we just released this week. So we're still preparing for retail packaging.
Okay.
So I think that's something that we are probably going to do, because going off of my experience in the past generation, the high-end AORUS models, we always did include a anti-sag bracket in there.
Yeah,
because
yeah, I
AORUS usually
remember.
is thicker.
It's a little
right?
bit heavier, yeah.
So I think our team is going to try our best to, of course, try to include that with this generation as well.
Yes. And before I move on to other questions, I'm going to go ahead and swap up the angles for you guys. So this is just beauty shots of the front of the card, stuff that you'll see kind of just when you open it, or if you vertically mount your GPU. This is what you're going to see. And you can see we changed the front of the design. Van, do you kind of want to go and explain the design language? Because it looks like we've kind of pulled, again, from our motherboard style of design, which is very sleek and unique, if I say so myself.
Yeah, so speaking of the design language, you guys can see it carries to the front as well. You're going to see some of the AORUS texture, I don't know how you call it, the AORUS pattern on the front cooler. Also, if you guys have noticed, for this generation, something that we did is we actually we took off the RGB LED on the fan, but we've instead placed that still on the front side of the card. So if you're still vertical mounting your graphics card, you're still going to get that RGB illumination as well as customization. And the reason why that is because for this generation, we've actually enlarged the fans. So the fans are bigger compared to previous generations. And of course, bigger fans, better cooling performance, right? So I think most of you guys should be happy with this trade-off, especially since the cards will run cooler than some of the other cards on the market. Speaking of cooling too, this shows a pretty cool angle. If you guys take a look at the middle fan on the cooler right there, you see the fans, right? The middle fan's actually kind of behind the other two. So basically the fans are stacked on top of each other.
So what that kind of means, or at least, sorry for cutting you off there, Van, but from someone who wouldn't really know, what that kind of means is you just get more coverage on the heatsink. Is that right?
Yep, that is correct. So basically having fans stacked over each other ensures that there's no dead spots when it comes to cooling. That the whole heatsink, the whole PCB, that you're going to get airflow to it. So again, that's going to provide better cooling performance, which in turn helps to keep your GPU running at optimal performance.
Yeah, I agree. And I think this was a very smart design choice on our PMs in our HQ in Taiwan. Again, we're trying to go for... Nvidia has already provided the users with power, but now it's on AORUS GIGABYTE's end is how do we take that power and how do we extend that, and I think the best way to do that is with cooling. And so our PMs in Taiwan have done everything that they can to ensure that the user, which would be you guys, is to get, how do we give them the best cooling coverage possible? And this is just one of the designs that, we were able to implement.
That is correct. Hey, James, can we actually go to the previous picture? I do want to talk about something real quick.
Sure. I'm going to go ahead and go back, guys. We're going to go to the back plate and kind of the side view here.
So I did see some questions about this, but I do want to point out, if you guys take a look at the power pin connectors right there, we do require two 8-pin power connectors. So I know there's some other cards which have changed their power configurations, but for the AORUS, I think actually the one that we're showing right now is the 3090, the AORUS 3090.
No, this is still the 3080.
Master, I believe.
This is still the
3080.
At the very end, I'm going to show off the 3090 because I think there is a subtle change to the both of them that I do want to point out. But this is still the 3080 here.
Got it. So then this one is going to be two 8-pin power connectors. So I did see some questions before about that. So hopefully this answers your guys' questions. By the way, we are going to talk about power requirements as well as recommended power supplies later on in today's stream. So if you guys want to hear information on that, just stay tuned. We have a lot of information to cover today.
Yes. And so when I'm going to, before I move on to what our 3090 AORUS looks like, I have a couple of very popular questions that are popping up here. One, I guess three. First one is, do we know the price? No, not yet, right? That is still TBD.
Yep, TBD.
Or TBD.
Stay tuned, guys.
Yeah.
In the next few weeks, of course, you guys are going to see us on AORUS TV, and we're going to try to share as much information as we can with you. But then also, our team is planning an event called AORUS Direct. And if you guys have been following AORUS for a while, AORUS Direct is the name of our online launch event. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to prepare benchmark information. We're trying to compare temperature graphs. We're trying to prepare pricing information as well as availability. We're going to condense all that, and then we're going to choose one date to share all that information with you guys. So we go direct to you to share all the latest information about the AORUS RTX 30 series graphics cards.
Yes. And so make sure you guys, again, stay tuned for that because that is going to be a very, very big announcement and a big event that we are planning so that way you guys have all the information possible. Second is, do we know any dimensions of this card? I think this card is still a little bit under wraps in terms of, some of the stuff that we can provide, right? So I don't think we have any specific dimensions. I'm
Yeah.
assuming they want to know if it will fit in their case already. They're trying to pre-plan like, all right, will the thickness of the card get in the way of my micro ATX build?
Yeah, I don't have exact dimensions to give you guys, but I know we are in the process of updating our website. So if you guys do want to keep checking back on there, it should be updated soon with that information. But I just do want to let you guys know that all of these RTX 30 series cards, 3080 and 3090, Gigabyte and AORUS, it's going to be a little bit thicker than the previous generations. Well, in the 3090's case, it's going to be a lot thicker.
Yeah, and I think right after saying that, I want to go ahead and go to the 3090 here, and we're going to do this, and we're going to show how thick the 3090 is. And you can see here, that thing is thick. It is huge, guys. This is the 3090. And
Do you guys see that, man? That thing is ridiculous.
You
That
can-
is a
Look
thick
at that.
boy. I see thick with 5 C's in
Yeah,
the
can
comment.
I get a 5C thick in the chat, guys? Can I get the thick with the 5 C's? Yeah,
Okay, so if you guys take a look at the PCI bracket in the back, right? So that metal part, that's 2 PCIe widths. I think our thickest for the RTX 20 series, it was a 3-slot thickness. But then this RTX 3090 AORUS, that looks to me like 4. A 4-slot thickness card, right?
Yeah, this looks like a 4-slot. Again, we don't know, even on mine and Van's end, we don't know the exact specifications and dimensions, but this looks
Yeah.
like literally double the IO shield, I guess. Like pretty much like almost double, which is already crazy.
Yep. It's gonna be in the range of a 3.5 to a 4-inch slot thick, but this thing is one of the biggest cards that we've ever made. And the reason for that thickness, it's not just there just to be thick, of course. It's there because there's just so much heatsink material underneath. We kind of went overkill when it came to adding cooling for this, because we figured 3090, it's the high end, it's the flagship card, and so if people want the best, then they deserve the best cooling performance.
Yeah, exactly. So we went all out, guys. Meme it if you will, but hey, you guys asked for it and we're delivering, okay? So you can't have it both ways, all right?
Yes.
But I do have a question, a question and kind of a design comment here. But the first question is, someone on YouTube asked, do they need PCIe 4.0 on their motherboard in order to be able to run 30 series graphic card?
That's actually a good question. I actually am not sure yet. Again, for me, I haven't really quite received, haven't really quite received official performance numbers just yet. So probably stay tuned over the next few weeks to hear that information.
Yeah. So again, I think everything with our AORUS Direct event, which will be coming sometime soon, we will announce pretty much everything. All our cards will be out on the table. Right now, what we can do here is just kind of give you guys a teaser of what you'll be seeing with that full event. And the second thing I want to point out is it's a subtle touch, but if you remember, when we looked at the 2080, the AORUS emblem, as well as the side, was silver, but on the 3090 it's actually gold.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna switch it back to our 3080s. So you see the middle right there, it is silver. But then if we swap it to the 3090, you get that subtle gold hint. And I think this is on purpose to kind of showcase just a little bit a difference of, hey, this is the 3090. If you couldn't tell by the size already, it's a 3090, but I'm assuming that, that's what our PMs in HQ went for, just to top it off with that like premium look. And nothing screams more premium than gold.
Another difference between the extreme and the master level is on the cooler itself. So this one you guys can see on the bottom left, on the front of the card, it says extreme on there. It
does say extreme, but if I switch over to
the
master here, or at least the 3080 master, it doesn't say extreme. Yeah.
So visually, that's how you guys can tell the difference between the extreme and the master. But other than that, they're very similar when it comes to overall outlook.
And yeah, guys, that was pretty much the this is like our very first look at the Aorus cards in depth, like full 360 tour, I guess. But we're not done yet. This is just part of the pie. We still have two other big models we would like to show you. One being our classic Gigabyte Gaming OC, which did get a design refresh, and I'm excited to look at it, as well as kind of a brand new series that we're going to look at. It's the Eagle series. And maybe Van, you can kind of let people know the difference between the two. But before we head into those, I'm going to ask the audience, what do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see more in-depth stuff on the Eagle or the Gaming OC? Let me know right now in the chat, and I am looking. In the meantime, I can go ahead and... okay. People are looking for Eagle. Oh, no. Gaming OC, Eagle. Man, it's like 50-50 split. Both. We're going to look at
people
both.
asking for the 3070s too, but we don't have those ready.
Wow. You guys are going crazy. Okay. I see a lot of Eagle. I mean, it's like 50-50, but I think I'm seeing the Eagle a little bit more. So I think we're going to go to the Eagle.
All right, let's do
so
it.
while I transition to the Eagle, guys, make sure you guys are entering in our giveaway here because we are giving away some really cool Aura swag that you can have for free. So links in the description. But we're going to go ahead and start off with the Eagle 3090 series. So this is the 24 gig 3090. And you can see this is just a flat design, or it's kind of laid down, but we're going to have better views of it in later slides. But maybe, Van, you want to kind of go over this?
For sure. So this is just some documents that we put together for you guys. So this specific card you guys are seeing here is the 3090 Eagle OC. And just some history for you guys. The Eagle name is a relatively new name for Gigabyte. So Gigabyte, we had like our gaming OC series, we had our WindForce series, and then I think we had some other ones. Eagle is going to be kind of like the starting point for Gigabyte. So that basically means it's going to be the lowest priced model, and it's going to be basically like I don't want to say entry level because entry is not a good word for it. The starting point.
Starter tier,
point.
yeah. Starting tier, yeah.
Yeah. So you start here, then you work your way up to the higher tiers if you want to get better performance.
It's not the entry point, but it's the point of entry level.
gotta twist it just a little.
Kind of put a little spin on it. But yeah, this is, again, guys, the Eagle is our starting point when it comes to entering the, I guess you say, our graphics card ecosystem. Is that correct? Is that how you kind of phrase it? But that doesn't mean that we're shedding you guys, because it's the starting point, that doesn't mean we're trying to shed you guys off from 3080, 3070, 3090. And, just this series is only meant for the, I guess, starter graphic card. No, we're putting everything in here. So whatever, I guess, series or brand line you go with, whether it's the Gaming OC, the Eagle, or the Aorus, you can get your full range of 3090 all the way to whatever the starting point would be.
Also, if you guys just take a look at the side profile of this card, look at the Eagle thickness versus the Aorus thickness that we just looked at like a couple minutes ago.
Man,
There's a very big difference there.
Yes.
Right? So,
very
that shows you guys how much emphasis that we put on the Aorus cooling design.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of go to our next slide here. I don't want to take too long. Cool. So this is an up-close view of the front of the card, of the front of the Eagle card. It does, maybe while they take a look at it, Van, you can explain a little bit of what the slide is, which is cooling.
For sure. So this is the WindForce cooling system. If you guys have been following Gigabyte for a long time, you guys have known we've used this terminology, we've used this cooling technology for quite some time. But anyways, so WindForce 3X, that means there's 3 fans on here. And the middle fan is actually an alternate spinning fan. So it basically spins in the alternate direction of the other 2. And what this helps to do is basically helps to reduce turbulence. It basically just helps to have smoother airflow to your GPU, which in turn helps to cool down your card. And also on this slide, you guys can see that we do have 7 copper heat pipes on here as well. We also have a large copper plate which makes direct contact with the GPU to provide best cooling performance.
Yes. Um, a lot of people are asking, what is the price and data availability? I'm just going to kind of shout this out there again so you guys know. We're not saying that information on this stream. That information is going to be reserved for our flagship event, AORUS Direct, that's going to be happening later on in the month, hopefully. So stay tuned for that, okay? But right now, we kind of just want to go over some of the key features and the designs of these cards and what potentially that you can have in your system. But I mean, speaking of design, I do like the Eagle design. It's very sleek. It's very slim. It's very minimalistic. It's not too punchy. And if you're going for like a sleek system build, I think this card may be the one for you.
For sure.
But yeah, just like what you were saying, the cooling, I think the WindForce 3X cooling system is an awesome cooling feature that we have. We did change the rotation of each fan, so that way there's none of that really tornado effect. I believe you mentioned something about the copper heat pipes basically being able to dissipate heat more efficiently. We have a lot of great stuff going on with cooling for such a point of entry term of graphic card. I kind of want to move on here. We have this also has to do with the fan. This is the graphene nano lubricant. I believe this is our kind of version of like our, I guess, best version of ball bearing fans. Is that correct?
Yeah. So to kind of expand on this is more of like a little small technical information, but for the tech enthusiasts out there, you guys might like this. But basically, we have a new lubricant inside our ball bearing fans. So what this helps to ensure to do is it helps your fans last longer. Because the worst thing that you want to do is spend tons of money to buy a high-end graphics card only to have a fan crap out on you within a year or so. So by doing this, basically ensures extra longevity, so that way your card can last for a long time, and you probably don't have to replace it anytime soon.
Yeah, so the thing here is just longevity, right? And that's, I think, one of the most important parts when it comes to your PC hardware is, sure, it looks good, it performs well now, but how does it hold up 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and that's what we're focusing on here. I'm going to go ahead and move on. This is very similar to our AORUS card. This has the screen cooling. And Van, you can kind of just reiterate what this little vent in the back plate is for.
Yeah, so for all the cards in this new generation, you guys have noticed the back plate, there's always like this hole, and it shows the heatsink underneath. So what this allows to do is it allows for air to pass through the heat sinks, which in turn again helps with better heat dissipation. And this is going to take effect on all of the models that we announced. So the 3080s and the 3090s, you're going to see this cool screen cooling technology.
Yeah, definitely. This is again just another point of temperature control that we add in here just to ensure you guys are getting the best of the best. When it comes to cooling, we have one last feature here, which is a very large copper plate for that heat dissipation. And this is kind of very self-explanatory, but we're trying to add in more surface area for this copper heat plate to basically just dissipate the heat to give you guys the best temperatures that we can on this card. And then I'm going to quickly go over just the front and the back of the card one last time here before we move on. But we have the front of the card here, which is, again, more of a complete view. What do you think, Van?
I like it. It's very, how do you say it, minimal.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you want to go for crazy RGB and flashy stuff, you go for the AORUS model, right? But if you don't need those additional lights, then why not just go with something that's a little bit cheaper, more friendly on the wallet, but still looks very modern, which is the GIGABYTE Eagle OC series.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have the back of the card here. Again, I think the most interesting portion of this design is It's not your average graphic card. It does have kind of like a 90-degree angle where the NVLink is supposed to go, and it's a little bit deeper than what I'm used to, but I think it makes for a very interesting design here. I do like how they have the Eagle Gigabyte brand together. So again, this is just that further solidification of us just trying to separate this brand line into its own thing, into its own identity. So we're hoping that this will do well on its own, so that way we can bring you guys better Eagle products that is easy on your guys' wallet, but you guys can still enjoy the performance. And let's see here. I think I want to go. I'm trying to see what kind of specs are next that we want to go over here.
Yeah, for sure.
So this one I just kind of quickly go over, but RGB Fusion, it will support RGB Fusion, just the same old RGB Fusion 2.0 that you guys know and love. This graphic card and all our other graphic cards will be controlled by this similar software for your lighting and controls. And then this. Oh yeah, go for it.
I actually see some comments. People are kind of confused about what Eagle is and if it's a new name. So for those of you who just tuned in, so Eagle is the name of the new Gigabyte, kind of like the more starting point of the Gigabyte gaming series of graphics cards.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be more price friendly. It's going to be, it's not going to have all the extra bells and whistles like RGB lights or like the cool maximum coverage fan cooling. But if you guys just want to get something solid, dependable, definitely take a look at Gigabyte Gaming, or sorry, Gigabyte OC, or
the
Eagle
the
OC.
Eagle.
Yeah.
And before we move on to the gaming OC, there's one last kind of spec chart I do want to show here. And Van you might want to talk about one of the also kind of heavy topics of discussion around just the new graphic cards in general, which is power supplies, right?
That is correct.
So this is not new information. This is information that is provided by Nvidia. And this is the standard information, but I think Van want to kind of shift everyone's attention towards kind of the bottom right.
Yeah. So this is kind of an intimidating table. Well, probably not for the tech guys out there, but one thing we actually want to take a look at is if you guys look at the bottom right-hand side, you're going to see recommended PSU. So this is something that we recommend. AORUS and Gigabyte, what we recommend is for the 3090. If you're going to go for this high level of a graphics card, we recommend that you go for at least a 750 watt power supply. The reason why is because this new generation, it's much more powerful. That means it's going to be more power hungry. Right? So that means you're definitely going to want to take advantage of at least a 750 watt. Because if you have your power hungry GPU and you have a high-end CPU in your system, that's definitely going to pull a lot of power. So 750 is kind of like the safe bet that our team recommends that you guys go for.
Yeah, and I think 750 is pretty standard amongst just the PC building community in general. It's a very safe route where you can have 750 and you don't have to kind of you don't have to be worried about future-proofing your power supply, because as technology gets smarter and more efficient, usually power consumption goes down and down. So I think a 750 watt, it gives you enough headroom for overclocking for your CPU as well as your GPU without having to worry about am I reaching kind of the power limit consumption here.
I do see some comments out there. People are saying that if they have 1,000 watt power supply or like a 850 watt power supply, will it still work?
Oh yeah.
Answer to that is yes.
100%.
So 750 is kind of like the minimum of what we would recommend.
And to be honest, if you're running like at stock speeds, that is definitely enough. But for people who may want to do extreme overclocking, then that's where you may want to venture into the 850s or 1000s or 1250s, But
definitely.
Other than that, guys, yeah, that's pretty much it for the Eagle OC. I want to move quickly on to the Gigabyte Gaming OC. This card has typically done very well for us, and it's been well received by the community. And I can already tell some questions of what people are going to ask, and I'll kind of get this out of the way. Are we going to make a white version card? And, to be honest, while we can't answer that right now, I think that question is the same with any other product category we have. If the demand is there, there's a possibility. So if you guys keep shouting online, hey, give me the Gaming OC white, give me the Gaming OC 3090 white card, I need it, then it gives us leverage to push our HQ to, hey, look, all these thousands and thousands of people want it, let's make it. And that's what happened with our 20 series, and we did make a white version. So I thought I'd get that out there because I already know that's going to be a question. But Van, you kind of want to go over the overview of the Gaming OC card?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Gaming OC, it is a higher level card, so it's gonna slot in above the Eagle OC, which we just looked at. So Gaming OC, you get a couple extra goodies. First off, you're gonna get a little bit better cooling on here.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get some more RGB lighting on here, a more modern design, but you guys can see it looks a little bit more flashy versus the Eagle OC, which is very plain looking. Can we move through the next few slides and we can kind of showcase what makes the Gaming OC a little bit more special?
Yeah, so we're going to go here again, cooling.
Mm-hmm. So cooling, this is very similar to what you guys just saw before. WindForce 3X cooling system, triple fans, as well as an alternate spinning fan, and of course, copper heat pipes, as well as a direct touch copper plate.
Mm-hmm. And then we're going to go over, we have the same graphene nano lubricant, which is, again, we just talked about, is for longevity. So I don't want to spend too much time on that. We do still have the screen cooling, which is very similar, as well as the large copper plate and heat pipes for heat dissipation. This is something new that I don't believe was shown on the Eagle series, and I don't know if it has it or not, but we have this. You want to kind of explain what this is?
Yeah, so this is kind of cool. This is something that we've offered in for a couple generations now, but basically it's a dual BIOS feature. So you guys get to choose between silent operation or performance operation. Or I think we call it OC mode.
OC mode, okay.
So it's pretty straightforward. If you guys want a quieter experience, all you guys have to do is just find this little switch on the card, flip it over, and then that's going to switch the card's BIOS. So then the fans are going to start to slow down. So that way you don't hear as much fan noise in your system. We know most people at this level, 3080, 3090, they probably do want to stick with the OC mode because that's going to give you the full performance and maximum gaming performance out of the card. But we do want to leave the option there for you guys. So just in case there's some times where you guys don't need that full performance, you do have the option to choose between the two modes. So I think that's something that's pretty cool of our cards. And again, this is actually a physical hardware switch that you can toggle on and off, or not on and off, between 1 and 2, So a little bit extra customizability for you guys. And this is something that's only on the Gaming OC series.
Yes. I think this is a great option for users and creators everywhere. The fact that they can, manually decide what they want to do without tinkering with any software, I think is a blessing for sure. So I think let's move on to, let's see here. Boom. So I think this is a really cool shot here. This is, I don't even know. It's like,
do you guys see what I mean by like a more modern design or more like higher end design?
Yeah.
So you guys can see, of course, RGB illumination on the side. We also have this very nice silver accent, but it looks very nice. It looks very flashy. If you're gonna side mount this into your PC, I guarantee you it's gonna look very, very pleasing to the eye. It looks very futuristic, right?
Yes. Very, very futuristic. Again, the design is very sleek. It's very updated. It's very future-proof-esque. I don't even know like how to describe it, but it's definitely a step up from our traditional gaming OC design, because I think our gaming OC design was a very solid design, but it did lack a little bit of flair. And I think that's exactly what we put on here. Just a tad of flash. Not too much flash like our AORUS series, but I think this is the right amount of flash. And I
I
did
actually see a pretty interesting comment from YouTube.
sure.
Some guy, he actually says this looks better than the AORUS version, in his opinion.
Really? Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people have
So,
different tastes, right? Some people like the
yep.
minimal. Some people don't like the high end flashy stuff. They like minimalistic with just a little bit of of pizzazz, I guess. Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we do offer three, I guess, levels, three different cooling designs. So again, you guys have options to choose from if you do decide to go with Gigabyte and AORUS.
Mm-hmm. One thing I do, well, I'm gonna take a break from the graphic card talk for just a tad bit because I am seeing a few questions, and then we'll get back to it. Sorry for the giveaway, guys. I know we in our Gleam section we have a code of the day. We did forget to mention it. Today's code of the day is AORUS Ampere. AORUS Ampere, all caps. Enter that in for some extra brownie points for the Gleam, and you'll be chosen. Hopefully, you'll be chosen for the winner for next week. But yeah, back to the graphic card. Yeah, just the design itself is awesome. I did once see one. Yeah. I did see one question, and I think this is a very good question. Are these graphic cards, will they be available for pre-order?
As of right now, no.
Okay.
There is no pre-order set for these.
But
who knows? That could change.
Actually,
that could change.
That leads me to my next kind of second announcement here is if we ever do pre-orders, we actually go straight to our AORUS VIP gaming community on Facebook. So that's our AORUS gaming community on Facebook, as well as our AORUS Discord on Discord. Join those communities and you can get the first information in terms of if we're doing pre-orders or not, as well as just first release update information on there. So if you want to know more about these cards and kind of be the first ones to know about it other than the public, or I guess before the public, make sure you join those communities on Facebook as well as our Discord. But yeah, as of right now, just like Van said, no pre-orders just yet. But moving on, we'll move on to the back side of this card, which is the back plate. And this has a very interesting design. There's a lot, I'd say there's the same screen vent, but there's also a ton of tiny vents also, which I think is pretty cool, which I'm assuming is just to allow more heat to dissipate.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on the design, Van?
I kind of like it. This looks a little bit more aggressive.
Metroid.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It looks cool. It's a little bit different from our previous generations. Again, I think before Gigabyte usually was a little bit more understated, right? A little bit more traditional designed. But for this generation, again, we are trying to do things a little bit different here. So the gaming OC series does look a little bit more aggressive compared to previous generations.
I have a question from YouTube. They're asking, is the core count, basically those default specs on Nvidia's website, do they pertain to these cards here? The ones that were announced.
Should be the same.
Okay.
Cool. Should be the same because it is the same GPU. So what's going to be different is, once we release that information, it's going to be core clock speeds as well as cooling performance. That's going to be the main differentiator of all the cards you're going to see on the market. And typically, we reserve the best core clock speeds as well as the best coolers for the AORUS design, which is what we showed earlier. And I think you guys could see it too in terms of cooling, in terms of thickness. The AORUS cards were thick, very thick. So if you guys want the best performance and the best cooling, definitely stay tuned to find out more information about the AORUS RTX 30 series graphics cards.
Yeah, definitely.
I am seeing a recurring question. Will there be a water force card? This
water force
at
and
launch,
water block. I see those too, because those are different.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at launch, we're not going to have any water cooled cards, but we've always followed up with water force. So whether you're looking for an AIO water cooled graphics card, or if you're looking for a custom water block graphics card, I wouldn't be surprised to see Gigabyte and AORUS coming out with them in the near future, as we've done that for previous generations now.
Almost every generation.
Even our motherboards we released during launch this traditional air-cooled models, but then afterwards we always try to follow up with water-blocked versions of those as well. So water cooling is something that we really have a big interest in here at Gigabyte AORUS. So we're definitely not going to forget about the water cooling users out there.
And Xavier from YouTube says, about how long is that wait from when we launch? Usually it's about a couple of months, right? If we're going based off of past generations, it's been about a couple of months. But again, just like Van said, I think it's very safe to say that we are most likely also coming out with water-cooled / water force versions of these cards, because it's just been standard for us. And we just like to push the boundaries when it comes to cooling and performance.
Correct.
I want to move on to a very underrated feature here. A very underrated feature.
Okay.
I think that's going to save many hands from bleeding a lot. And I know you may be wondering, what the heck is he talking about? What kind of feature saves my hand from bleeding? Well, let me show you. Bam. Our friendly PCB design. All right. No longer do you have to worry about grabbing a graphic card and stabbing yourself constantly, because with our friendly PCB design, we've soldered the connectors, we've made it smooth, and that's something you don't have to worry about. So, I mean, you're welcome.
It's actually it's not like a flashy feature, but if you are a serious PC builder who's taking in graphics cards, installing multiple PCs in a day, this is something that you're going to appreciate, because this is a small, nice extra touch that Gigabyte does to make our graphics card a little bit easier to work with.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Twitch, we have a person on Twitch saying, dang, so we didn't care about fingers before, huh? No. The technology just hadn't advanced yet, sir. So with the advancement of technology, you can see here we've put everything on the table. We've laid out our hand. But yeah. So yeah, I think that's
some people on YouTube are saying, wait, but I like stabbing my fingers on the PCB.
What the heck? Weirdo.
Yeah. That's a strange hobby you got there, man.
So I want to move on. We do have our classic 4 years warranty. This is just something that we've always been proud of. We're here to serve you guys, again, in the long run. If anything does happen with your card and it does malfunction or anything like that, you guys are covered for at least the first 4 years. So that's just another thing that's just peace of mind that you don't have to worry about. We're going to do something here that I skipped over on the Eagle series, but it also does apply. And this one is NVIDIA's NVLink support. I think with the addition of 3070, this may actually come back, because 3070's performance is pretty crazy. Now imagine doubling up with two 3070s in NVLink. I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 3070s does support NVLink.
I think for this generation, it's only going to be the 3090.
Oh, is it only the 3090? Oh, wow. Okay, well, I'll stand corrected. Well, there you go. If you have a case that supports the triple Cs.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, eventually we're gonna have to get back into those AORUS pictures to show to everyone who just tuned into this stream. But imagine if you're gonna have actually, can we take a look at those pictures right now, James?
Let's move over to how thick these cards are.
Yeah.
Imagine two.
So this is the 3090 AORUS Extreme. You guys can see that's how thick one card is.
Yeah, imagine two of these bad boys in your case. You're not worried about the length. You're worried about height clearance now.
Yeah, this is definitely going to take up the whole bottom half of your motherboard as well as your PC if you're going to have two of these cards installed.
Yeah.
But just to be honest with you guys here, 3090, again, it is the most powerful of the new Ampere cards. But 3090 is kind of more geared towards, how do I say it? Prosumers, workstations, professionals.
So
because the 3090, it's more of a Titan class card, right? So RTX Titan, pretty much. This is on the same level.
Yes.
For most of the gamers out there, which it's like me, James, plus most of the viewers out are watching, we're probably more leaning towards the 3080. 3080 is going to be a lot more friendly to your wallet, but it's still going to deliver a lot of gaming performance.
Actually, speak for yourself. I'm going for the 3090. I'm going for the 3090, man. You know me, I am a creator at heart. I am a prosumer.
Mm-hmm.
Hence,
yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah, Van
Yeah,
will go for the
since James does a
3080.
lot of video editing, he
Video
can take full
editing.
advantage of the 3090.
Yeah, full advantage. And let's be honest, I just want a 3090 in my system. I don't know if my system has the height clearance, but I'll make it work somehow.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think for a lot of the viewers out there who are watching today, you guys are probably going to make that decision for yourself as well.
mhm.
There's 2 new GPUs coming out. Well, 3 if you include 3070, but it depends on what you're going to use it for. If you're purely looking for gaming performance, go with a 3080. That's going to deliver the best gaming performance for the money.
Yeah, that price.
But if you guys have, yes, but if you guys have the more demanding task, if you guys are video editors, content creators, if you guys run servers, or if you guys have your own business and you run it off of a server, 3090
3090.
is going to be more up your alley.
100%,
So-
100%. And yeah, so I mean, in terms of our slides before, it's pretty much exactly what I don't know if we should go back to, but we pretty much were at the tail end of it. But I want to go back to the designs of these cards, of the AORUS cards, in case people tuned in late and missed it. So I'm gonna go. These are our 3090 flagship, the flagship 3090 AORUS cards right here. You can see they're very thick. They're amazing. This is the AORUS Extreme, by the way. You can tell because it has the Extreme logo on the bottom left. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to our 3080. Which is what most of you guys will be buying. So this is the 3080, not as thick, still thick, but not as thick. It's reasonably thick. But you can see here, again, the design language on both the 3080 and 3090 is very similar. The only thing that you are changing is the emblem in the middle is not gold, it's silver. And then on the bottom left, it just doesn't say Extreme. So this is our AORUS Master. Is that correct, Van?
Correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. Hey, James, actually, I see a comment from Twitch. They're asking if we can showcase the backplate design.
Yeah, actually, that was actually right what I was going to do right now. So this is the side view and the backplate view. So kind of like what I said before for people who've been watching since the beginning, but this is, I think these are the best pictures because this is what you're pretty much going to see 90% of the time. You're only going to see the front when you install it in your actual PC, but you're most likely going to be head on or you're going to be looking down at it and you'll see this view. And Van, do you want to kind of go over again the main differences from our last generation AORUS cards to this one?
Yeah, so main differences is going to be first, the cooling. So the cooling has been increased overall. So bigger fans, more coverage of the fans, as well as an increased size in the heatsink. So this side profile really shows off that increased heatsink very well. You guys can see how thick that heatsink is. That's a lot of metal behind there. And that's going to deliver more cooling performance for you guys. So your GPU can perform at optimal speeds for even longer.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of cooling, if you take a look at the back plate on the right-hand side, you guys are going to see that little cutout. So again, that's the screen cooling feature. So that's basically going to allow air to pass through that extended heatsink, which helps further take away heat from the GPU.
Yeah, so that screen cooling will be very prevalent in all of our models because again, we're just trying to achieve maximum thermal performance for our cards, and adding that the screen cooling back there really makes a difference. As far as go for it. Go ahead.
Speaking of screens, I see a lot of people on the comments talking about the LCD screen on the bottom right-hand side. So on the side profile of our card, so that is a custom LCD display. That's actually another new thing we've done for this generation. Completely customizable. So right now in this render, it's showing GPU temperatures, but you can customize it to display core clock speeds. You can customize it to display, I don't know, custom animations.
It's
I'm sure we're gonna have
flexible. It's very flexible,
Yeah.
to say the least. Yeah.
We're going to have lots of different modes you guys can choose from the AORUS software.
Yeah. Someone's saying it would be fun if we displayed the CPU temps on the GPU.
Confuse people, right?
So a couple questions. Someone is asking, or they're kind of concern on, hey, what about this design blows hot air through the top? And it doesn't actually. What that screen is for is to allow excess heat to dissipate through the top, because as you guys know, cold air sinks and hot air rises. So that is there to, again, just help the dissipation of heat from the graphic card. And then also the second one is, will this come with a GPU support bracket? Because people are concerned that it's a little bit too thick to hold on its own. And that is a TBD right now. But I think Van, you said with our other AORUS cards, previous generations, that's something that we have done before, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. So don't worry. I don't think you guys will have to worry about GPU saggage. I think we'll be able to help to take care of that.
Definitely.
Someone from Twitch is asking, is a pre-order option going to be available? So at the moment, no pre-order option is available for any of these models, for any of these cards. However, if we end up having a pre-order or a pre-sale, you want to head over to our AORUS gaming community on Facebook or our AORUS Discord, and that's where we release the very first information to all of our VIP fans and AORUS fans on information as if we're doing pre-orders or if we have new information to announce. That's where we announce it first. So make sure you guys join there.
Yeah. Hey, so since we still have a lot of viewers watching right now, I do want to throw a question to the viewers. This is the first time that we've kind of gone in depth about the AORUS RTX 30 series design. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think about this new design language that we have? For us, this is what we introduced for this generation, right? And we took a lot of feedback from you guys. We took a lot of feedback from the motherboard series, and we decided to implement it onto these cards. So I'm hoping that most of you guys are pretty happy with this new design that we're going for. But I just want to verify in the comments. If you guys like it, let us know. If you guys don't like it, also let us know. So that way we can collect your guys' feedback and, constantly keep implementing what you guys want.
Actually, like a comment from Twitch, they're saying this card gives me serious cyberpunk vibes, and I think this is going to be a core or a key card in playing that cyberpunk series, because Nvidia and cyberpunk, I believe, have been working so closely together to make that game as beautiful as it can, especially with Nvidia's RTX technology. And that is a game I'm so excited for, and I think they released the date, right? It was like mid-November or something like that.
I don't know. I
forgot. I thought they released it in the Nvidia announcement on the 1st. But if it is coming in November, wow, I am so psyched. I'm actually also very psyched about their new technologies and how that's coming to more mainstream games as well, like Valorant. I play Valorant heavily on a daily basis, and just having those. I forgot what the exact name of the technology, but just having extra Nvidia technology to help me in my games that doesn't just always apply to AAA titles is really cool. People are asking, what's my rank? Oh, dude, you don't want to know. My rank is just think of whatever is dirt and then multiply that times 10 downwards. Yeah, it's no good. It's a fun game though, but I may not be good at it, but it's a fun game. Sorry, Van, you were saying?
Yeah, I see a reoccurring question. What's the difference between the Extreme and the Master? I think we've answered this, but maybe we can do a quick refresher.
Sure.
So we have the Master pulled up right now. This is the AORUS Master.
Do you want to tell them what's up with this?
Yep. So we have the AORUS Max Coverage Cooling. We have the new design language with the RGB lighting on front. We have the 3 large fans. And then can we take a look at the Extreme, James?
This is the Extreme here.
Looks very similar, right?
Very thick.
The main difference visually is, you guys can see on the bottom left, there's a little Extreme logo right there.
And in the middle, it's a gold emblem. It's like a little gold
emblems.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be on the final product as well. Again, we can't confirm because we don't have the product in hand, but I'm pretty sure that's also to just kind of differentiate just a tad from the 3080 and 3090. But I think, Van, the main differences lie within the card, right?
Yep. Under the hood, the Extreme is actually going to have a higher factory overclock. So it's going to come with a faster OC out of the box. So faster core clock speeds translates to better gaming performance. So if you are looking for the best gaming performance, you're probably going to want to stick with the AORUS Extreme model. And if you guys still want the cool design, but you guys don't need to max out your card, that's what we had the Master series for. Master shares the same design language, the same cooling, but it's going to be a little bit more price friendly.
And people are asking, what is like the wattage on this? Do we know the wattage on this card, on kind of the power where they'll need to have their power supply at?
So our recommendation for power supplies for these new generations is at least 750 watts of power.
Okay.
And that's going to help deliver enough power for the graphics, for the CPU, for overclocking, or for whatever other things you plan to add down the road. So 750 is the safe recommendation from Gigabyte and AORUS.
I have a question on YouTube asking if AORUS from Dong Lei will AORUS do any hybrid cards? Which I'm assuming is
Hybrid
like our water
cards.
force cards.
Yes.
Okay. And which, again, maybe you kind of want to reiterate what you said, maybe about 5-10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, I think technically, one of our competitors does make a hybrid where it's like air cooled and water cooled at the same time, which is a little bit strange.
I think
but anyways,
the hybrid is what I'm thinking of is more just like not fully a water block card, but not an air cool card. So just something with a radiator like our water force. Is that what you mean?
Huh?
Like our water force cards that have the radiator? I'm wondering if
Yeah.
that's what he means.
So like maybe, yeah. But a GPU with the AIO, that is something that we are going to make. That's something that we've traditionally made for 3 or 4 generations now. So we're not going to have it at launch, but don't worry, it's probably coming soon. So if you do want better cooling performance, stay tuned for information on that.
Definitely. And yeah, I think one of the things that I really want to showcase here, let me see if I can pull this up. I kind of want to showcase the fact that we've done, or kind of the generational gap that AORUS and Gigabyte as a company has been through. So this is our latest graphic card that we announced. But how about one of the very first graphic card? And that's something I want to show. I'm going to show it right here. This is... I honestly don't know what this graphic card is. All I know is that it is... it was made in 1999.
Wow, that is 21 years ago.
Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly go from here to here. Here to here. Look at the crazy advancements.
I think there's like 1 or 2 differences between these two. I don't know. It's kind of close to tell.
Hey, I like the simple and clean design. No, I'm saying, but I think it's really cool just to look how far technology has come in the past decade. Just when we thought, the 10 series was at the peak of its time, they came out with 20 series, and then same thing. It's like 20 series, like, oh man, like how are they going to outdo this? And then Nvidia has released 30 series, and we're able to partner up with them and create the best cards on the market for consumers. And I think that's the real cool thing about working for Gigabyte and being a partner of Nvidia. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's all of our designs. Fan, is there anything else that you kind of want to go through? I know we have a lot of people asking questions here. I have one. Where can they buy these cards? I know we can't say it right now, but if you tune into our AORUS Direct event, we should be able to tell them more, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of questions that we weren't able to answer today, guys. So, things like pricing, availability, as well as pre-orders, clock speeds, performance numbers. Unfortunately, we can't share them today with you guys.
Not yet.
But we're putting together all that information. And later on this month, we're going to be hosting an event called AORUS Direct. And that's going to contain all the answers you guys are looking for. So if you guys want to get the latest scoop on AORUS Ampere graphics cards, stay tuned for news on that event, because that event we're going to host it pretty soon, and it's going to be similar to what we're doing today. It's going to be an online event. We're going to show it on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So definitely follow us to get updated on that.
Yeah, definitely. Again, make sure you guys are following us on all social medias. We have those in the links in the description down below. And I hope you guys really did enjoy this live stream, because this is the first look. This is the first time we're showing an in-depth 360 look around pretty much all of our 30 series cards that we're going to be launching very soon. But again, make sure you guys follow our social medias to stay tuned for our actual flagship event, which is AORUS Direct, because we're going to actually have physical samples of the card. We're going to do another live Q&A just like this one. We're going to have on special, we should have on special guests that you guys can ask your questions to, that you may be wondering, all the way from Taiwan. So you can ask them questions on the design, why they decided to go that way, questions on specs, anything like that. And our special guests will be able to answer those. I have a question here, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, Van, but they're asking, do you know why there's no USB-C output anymore?
That's a question I don't have an answer to.
Yeah,
but
okay.
hopefully that's something that we can touch base on AORUS Direct.
See, these are good questions that you can ask at AORUS Direct with our PMs. They're the people who designed this card, not us. We're here to deliver to you guys. Do you have any other questions on your end? The chat's going by so fast. You guys need to slow down.
Yeah. I don't have any questions right now, but guys, again, stay tuned for AORUS Direct. That's going to be the big one. But then also, we're going to come back to you guys next week on AORUS TV. And we should have some more small updates for you guys. Hopefully, maybe even get some cards to show you guys in real life.
Yeah, hopefully. Because I would love to be able to do like really nice close-ups so you guys can just see how it looks in real life, as well as how it fits in my hand. You know? Yeah, my hand. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna be the first one to try it.
So yeah, guys. So remember, just stay tuned, stay updated. Follow us on social media. Follow us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, wherever, and you guys will be up to date on that information.
Kind of before we sign off and head off here is I want to let you guys know that we do have another show coming up on Monday called AORUS Plays. This is where we take our hardware and we put it through real life gaming and testing. Our good friend Jordan will be taking that one head on, and he's going to be playing a game that I think all of you guys will like. I'm not going to say what. I want you guys to join in on our community pages and channels to find out what that is. But we have a lot of fun activities on there, and then until then, oh no, I'm sorry. Actually, we won't have a show next Monday because it's a holiday. It's a national holiday. So I almost pranked myself. I almost pranked my guy. I almost pranked the guy who was going to do the show. Maybe he would have had to show up into the office alone. But yeah, there's no show, but we will see you guys next Thursday, and hopefully we'll have a physical card in hand. If not, make sure you guys are leaving your questions down below, and what we can do is we can compile them and save them for next AORUS TVs, and hopefully answer those questions that you guys have that we can answer. All right, guys. But yeah, until then, I mean, I'm all good on my end. Van, any last words for our audience here before we kind of head out?
Yeah, so some closing words from me. Again, hopefully all the viewers today who are watching, hopefully you guys enjoy this first look. We were very excited to showcase these new generation of graphics cards to you, because we've been working on this for quite some time. So we hope that you guys are happy with the design as well as the direction of where Gigabyte and AORUS is headed. And don't worry, all the questions that we didn't get a chance to answer today, we are going to try to answer them over the next few weeks. So again, try to come back to our live streams, try to have more interactions with our team, and we'll do our best to reveal all information to you guys.
Yeah, definitely. So until then, guys, my name is James.
And my name is Van.
And we will see you guys on next week's AORUS TV. Stay safe and see you later. Peace.
See you guys.